Have you ever wondered what it takes to rise from the humblest of beginnings to become the president of a nation of over 1 billion people? To go from a small fishing village to the highest office in the land? Today, we're diving into the incredible, inspiring, and sometimes painful life story of Dr. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam, a man who taught a generation to dream. His journey began in 1931 in Rameswaram, a small town in southern India. His family wasn't wealthy. His father was a boat owner and the imam of a local mosque. Young Kalam had to start working early to support his family. Can you imagine? As a small boy, he would wake up before dawn to distribute newspapers just to earn a little extra money. Even then, he had an insatiable hunger for knowledge. He would spend hours studying under a single kerosene lamp, his mind soaring far beyond the confines of his small town. His teachers saw something special in him. They recognized his bright mind and his deep curiosity about how things worked, especially how birds could fly. This childhood fascination with flight would shape his entire destiny. He was a dedicated student, but life wasn't easy. There were times when the family struggled to make ends meet. Yet, through it all, his parents instilled in him the values of honesty, discipline, and a deep faith that transcended religious boundaries. His father, a devout Muslim, was best friends with the head priest of the local Hindu temple. This environment of mutual respect and harmony shaped Kalam's worldview for the rest of his life. After finishing school, Kalam's dream was to become a fighter pilot. He worked incredibly hard and made it to the final interview for the Indian Air Force. There were 8 positions available, and he was ranked 9th, just 1 spot away. The disappointment was crushing. He was heartbroken, standing on a cliffside, contemplating his future, when he met a spiritual leader who gave him some profound advice. He told him to accept his destiny and move on, reminding him that this setback was not the end, but a redirection toward his true purpose. That redirection led him to the Defense Research and Development Organization, or DRDO. It was a modest start. His initial projects were small, but his brilliance couldn't be contained. He designed a small hovercraft, and his work soon caught the eye of the pioneers of India's space program. This was his big break. He was transferred to the Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, and his life changed forever. At ISRO, he became the project director for India's first-ever satellite launch vehicle, the SLV-3. This was a monumental task. The team worked tirelessly, facing countless technical challenges and setbacks. The pressure was immense. In 1979, they were ready for the first launch. The whole nation was watching. The rocket lifted off, but seconds later, it spun out of control and crashed into the Bay of Bengal. It was a catastrophic failure. Kalam was devastated. As the project director, he felt the full weight of the failure on his shoulders. He was ready to face the media and take the blame. But then, the chairman of ISRO, Professor Satish Dhawan, did something remarkable. He took the microphone himself, took full responsibility for the failure, and promised the nation they would succeed. He protected Kalam and his team from the criticism. This act of leadership taught Kalam a lesson he never forgot. When there's a failure, the leader takes the blame. When there's success, the leader gives the credit to the team. And succeed they did. Just 1 year later, in 1980, the team tried again. This time, the SLV-3 soared into the sky flawlessly, placing the Rohini satellite into orbit. India had just become the 7th nation in the world to enter the exclusive space club. The entire country erupted in celebration. It was a moment of immense national pride, and at the heart of it was the boy from Rameswaram who once dreamed of flight. His success with the SLV-3 earned him the nickname, the Missile Man of India. He was then entrusted with leading India's missile development program. He was the driving force behind the development of powerful missiles like Agni and Prithvi, which became the bedrock of India's defense system. These weren't just weapons. They were symbols of a nation's growing strength and self-reliance. Kalam's work was difficult and often controversial, but he always saw it as a necessary step to ensure India's security and sovereignty. He believed that strength respects strength. Throughout his career, Dr. Kalam lived a life of incredible simplicity. He was a lifelong bachelor, completely dedicated to his work. He never owned a television, and his most prized possessions were his books. His personal life was his work, and his work was his service to the nation. In 2002, his life took another unexpected turn. He was nominated to become the 11th President of India. He was the people's choice, a scientist and a visionary who stood outside the traditional world of politics. His presidency was unlike any other. He opened up the Grand Presidential Palace, the Rashtrapati Bhavan, to the public, especially to children. He became known as the people's president. He spent his time traveling across the country, meeting and inspiring millions of young Indians. His speeches weren't political. They were filled with hope, dreams, and a vision for a developed India by 2020. He would ask students, "What is your dream?" He urged them to dream big, to work hard, and to believe in themselves. He believed that the youth were the key to India's future. He connected with them on a personal level, sharing his own stories of struggle and triumph. He wasn't just a president. He was a mentor, a teacher, and a grandfather figure to an entire nation. Even after his presidency ended in 2007, he didn't retire. He went back to his first love, teaching. He became a visiting professor at several universities, continuing his mission to ignite the minds of the youth. He was happiest when he was in a classroom, surrounded by students, sharing his knowledge and his passion. On July 27, 2015, Dr. Kalam was giving a lecture at a university in the middle of his speech, he collapsed. He was doing what he loved until the very last moment of his life. He passed away at the age of 83, leaving behind a legacy that is impossible to measure. The story of Dr. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam is not just a story of a scientist or a president. It's a testament to the power of dreams, the strength of the human spirit, and the importance of humility and hard work. He showed us that your circumstances don't define you. Your dreams and your actions do. From distributing newspapers to becoming the first citizen of India, his life is a powerful reminder that no dream is too big and no obstacle is too great. He failed, he learned, he persevered, and dissuaded, and in doing so, he gave wings to the dreams of millions. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the life of a true inspiration. If his story touched you, please like this video and subscribe for more content about incredible lives. And let us know in the comments below what Dr. Kalam's legacy means to you. Thanks for watching.